Ready? Thank you, everybody, for coming this afternoon. We do have some players in the audience. Ian Kinsler, Julio Borbon, Robinson Chirinos. Is that it? Raise your hand. But thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm going to turn it over to our Rangers Hall of Famer and special assistants to the general manager, Michael Young, who's actually going to do a baseball duty. So I'll turn it over to Michael.
Thank you, JV. Appreciate everybody being here to celebrate Elvis's incredible career, not only with this organization, but for every team he played for. But at the end of the day, this is the place where he made his greatest impact, where the community loves him, our fan base loves him. It's great to see members of our organization, former teammates, obviously Wash, and his incredible family who I haven't seen in a while, and his beautiful wife and kids. Elvis is like a little brother to me, so I'm incredibly honored to be here today. But with that being said, here's his, I can't even read this thing. Execution of Elvis's one-day contract to retire as a member of the Rangers. Wash, you're up.
Well, I'm very appreciative to be a part of this also, and to see all the familiar faces in the audience. It couldn't happen to a better guy, especially in this organization, because as Mike stated, he was huge in this organization. As a puppet, he was huge. I'd just like to share a story with you guys. The first time I met him, I was hitting him ground balls, and he did one of these numbers to me, and I called him over. And I told him, I said, as long as you living, don't you ever do that to me. Go back out there and I'll let you know we're working on something. I'll let you know when it's over. He went back out there, I hit him one more ground ball, and I was you know, but this kid was so sharp at a young age when he came up, and he was a very fortunate kid because of the players that surround him. Mike Kinsler, Mitch Moreland, he had Nelson Cruz, he had Beltray. You know, he had people around him that stayed on him and wouldn't let him get away with anything. And I think that created the man you see standing up here right now. He arrived as a young man, and all he's ever known before he left Texas is winning. He could handle a bat, he could handle a glove, he could run the bases. He's seen things that young kids at his age just didn't see. And the things he didn't see, guys like Michael Kinsler, Moreland, Beltray, they made certain that he's seen it. And that's why his career lasted as long as he's lasted. And I'm so happy that he went out on his own terms. And anytime you in the game of baseball and you love the game as much as Elvis loved the game, you get that opportunity to go out on your terms. What a player. Very, very special player. And I'm honored and humbled to be up here with this situation happening today.
Thank you, Skip.
Yeah. Love you, man.
At the old size, I got fit.
Yeah, you don't feel right now.
Nope.
Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Wash. I write something because, you know, you guys know I can talk for days, and I didn't want to miss anything, and I didn't want to go too far. So here it goes. Stay with me. Today is a day of joy in my life. It's a day that brings so many good and not so good memories. A day to remember how blessed I've been in the past 15 years. How this incredible organization, the Texas Rangers, choose to trade from the Atlanta Braves a 17-year-old shortstop from Venezuela named Elvis Andrus. I want to thank first and foremost God Almighty for blessing me with love and talent to play baseball. My parents, madre, gracias por tu amor, por tu sacrificio, por tu guía. Sin ti nada de esto sería posible, vieja. Te amo. To my stepdad, Héctor Gruber, gracias por todas las horas que en mí depositaste cuando más lo necesité. Gracias, viejo. And to my dad, Emilio Andrus, that is watching from heaven, I miss you and I love you, viejo. I hope I make you proud. To my brothers and my sister, Emily, Erickson, and Errol, thank you for pushing me to be the best version that I could be. To my wife, Corey, thank you for the support, love, and for making my playing time much easier. Knowing that our kids and our home was under control. I love you, Fleca. To my 3 beautiful children, Elvis, Lucia, and Michael, thank you for your patience and for shaping me into the man that I am right now. Daddy, love you guys. There is so many wonderful people in my career, like Dayton Moore, that I would like to talk about, who in 2005 came to Venezuela and saw something in a 16-year-old kid from Maracay that not too many people, including myself, saw. Thank you, Dayton and Atlanta Braves, for giving me the opportunity to play professional baseball. To all of my teammates, the one here today, Robinson Chirino, Julio Bourbon, the one who made an impact during my career, like Mikey, Ian, who showed me the way and welcomed me to this beautiful game, especially to my brother from another mother, and everybody knows Adrian Beltran. To all of my managers and coaches, especially my first manager, Ron Washington, Skip, thank you for all you did for me. I often answer the question of how I was able to play in the big league in such a young age and perform so freely and relaxed in the World Series. And my only answer always being Ron Washington. You were that person that I knew that no matter how I felt or how I was playing, you always had my back. Thank you, Skip. To all the medical staff, especially Dr. Meister, Dr. Hunter, Jamie Reed, Pelo Blanco, Matt Lucero, and Raul Cárdenas Chacho, thank you for always helping me to stay healthy and ready to play. To every clubhouse attendance, sorry for keeping you up with my mess every year. Brandon, Mason, Dave Bells, Tony Taylor, thank you for always taking care of me and my family. To the front office of all of the 3 organizations that I play for, Chicago White Sox, Oakland A's, and the most important, the Texas Rangers, thank you for the trust, challenge, and honor that was given to me in the last 15 seasons. To my agents, Scott Boras, Mike Fiore, Rick Gamma, Charlie May, and the Boras Corp, thank you guys. Thank you to all media members of this beautiful game of baseball, especially to Evan Grant, T.R. Sullivan, and Emily Jones. And for sure, I will only miss Emily Jones. Not you, Evan Grant. Last but not least, the fans. Every one of you mean the world to me. Your passion and support was my fuel throughout my career. It's been 20 beautiful years journey as a professional baseball player, and it is an honor for me to officially retire as a Texas Rangers. Thank you.
Microphones. You guys got the microphones? Raise your hands. Emily?
Elby, I know you came into this season saying you weren't exactly sure what you were going to do, taking some time, having some conversations with guys like Michael, Adrian, with Corey. What all led to this, and why was it important for you to do it as a Ranger?
Yeah, no, it's been this year has been such a roller coaster for my life, my family. Like I said earlier, it's been 20 years professionally playing, and everybody that plays professional understand, the every day they're making plans in the off season to prepare. So, going to spring training this year, it was, it's been a thought in my mind. I think that knowing that I knew that at some point I was going to have to retire, I could now play forever. So I think that, for me, spiritually, finding God helped me a lot to understand the really meaning of life and being able and so blessed to, my kids are still so young that I can enjoy them, taking them to school and being with my mom, with my, my brothers, my wife, be more present. I think that, when you put it in a balance, that side was pulling a lot more than baseball. So that was an easy decision. I think that it was a tough one, but I'm very at peace and happy with the decision of, retiring. And with the Rangers, of course, that was always, I thought I was gonna do it as a player, but, we have to be realistic and I love it this way. Everything happened for a reason, and being here today with you guys, ex-teammates, coaches, personnel, Mikey and Wash, they started my career, the beginning of my career with them, so it's an honor for me to be here, and I think this is perfect.
What else? Carlos.
¿Qué tal, Elvis? Un saludarte otra vez. Sé que lo acabas de decir, pero estamos el juego en español, tú sabes cómo ha sido esto. ¿Qué te decidió a retirarte y qué piensas hacer después del béisbol?
Sí, yo pienso que fue una decisión de ya unos años atrás, los últimos 2, 3 años, era algo que lo estaba pensando. Sabía que no iba a jugar toda la vida y traté de poner muchas cosas en balanza, ¿no? Para decidir, para tener buena decisión y no arrepentirme. Y este año, una de las cosas que me ayudó mucho, ¿no? a tomar esta decisión fue mi aceptar a Jesucristo como mi Salvador y poner la vida bien en perspectiva. Me ayudó bastante a ver lo que en realidad importa, lo que es en realidad verdadero y de las cosas que tengo que disfrutar en mi vida ya que estoy joven, y mi familia, mi madre, mis hijos. Yo pienso que es el momento para mí de cerrar una página como pelotero profesional y empezar otra como padre, hijo, hermano y amigo, y estoy feliz, estoy contento, estoy en paz con mi decisión y no sé qué va a pasar en el futuro, no sé, me gustaría por supuesto trabajar en béisbol, es lo que sé, es lo que me ha gustado, pero en realidad estoy enfocado en mi familia y en el día a día.
Other questions?
Elvis, you're so young. You got most of your life left to live. Have you any thoughts about what you want to do the rest of your life? Do you want broadcasting maybe?
Well, for sure, everybody they know we're gonna tell me not to be in a microphone, because it will be forever. I think the game want to make the game quicker. No, it's slower. So. But I don't know, man. Like you mentioned, I'm very young and fortunate and blessed to retire. A 35-year-old, and having my life in front of me. Right now, I have no plan to trying to fast forward. I'm really go day by day. Like I say, growing spiritually, having fun, get to see my child growth, being a coach. I mean, I'm flag football coach, basketball coach, soccer coach. So I think that's what's gonna be my next chapter, the next 10 years. But just being able to enjoy, man. I think that sometimes as a player we forget, how blessed we've been, and we attach ourselves to the playing time. And I've been very blessed to have guys, Ian, Michael, Adrian, and the rest of my teammates to always guide me, to it's good to retire, man. Like, it's a lot of other, life brings a lot of other opportunities and a lot of other things to enjoy. So for me, it's just been a process the past few years, and, I was able to be at peace and make that final decision to retire.
In the front row here. Somebody with the coin? Yeah.
So what's the most important lesson you learned from Wash, and what's the most important lesson you learned from Michael?
Oh my God. I mean, from Wash, I think, working hard. Talent can get you to the big league, but your work ethic will keep you there for a long time. And I learned that, in such a young age. And again, I think that was the biggest key for me, being able to play as many years I was able to play in the big leagues and had a lot of success, through those knowledge and through those advice that Wash gave me everything. It gave me early in my career So, just working hard, never take anything for granted, respect the game, bringing it every single day to the ballpark. Those are the things that will always stick to me, and I'll teach to my kids. And I mean, from Mikey, he did not talk too much. He'll show you. He was a leader that showed you, with his example. He only pulled my ear just a few times, but I needed, like Washington say, whenever I need it, I know that they will pull my ear. But just his work ethic, the way he respect the game, that is something that you don't need to tell me or talk to me about it. Just from watching him, it just made my career so easy, because I literally always trying to follow Mikey, the way he approached offensively and everything. It was just so easy for me. But it makes it hard because, not everybody could hit like Michael. So, but no, I think those are the things that I always gonna kept in my heart, in my head, and in my mind. And I'm always, they know that, so blissful and so thankful for everything they did, the advice, the time they did put on me when they could do something else. And, from the bottom of my heart, to both of them, thank you very much.
For Wash and Michael first, and then I've got one for Elvis. But for both of you guys, we spend so much time kind of remembering Elvis as a kid, right? The story you just told, Wash, about the first time you hit ground balls. And everybody's got all these memories of Elvis his first couple of years in the big leagues. Having played 15 years in the big leagues, 2,000 hits, 300 stolen bases, that's a significant career. What would you say about Elvis's overall career and the player he ended up being?
Number one, he was a tremendous teammate. Once again, everything that Elvis accomplished, he had to learn how to do it. He didn't come in with all of that on his resume. He had to learn how to do it. There had to be people around him that made certain that he recognized what he was capable of doing. And as he mentioned, he was on top of it every day. So that's the one thing I've always remembered about him. Being so young, didn't matter what the situation was in the ball game. If I called on him to do something, he was able to do it. That was impressive. I rode him hard. I rode him hard only because I knew what he has become today as a man and as a family man. It was always in him. But at 18 or 19 or 20 years old, how do you recognize that? You don't. So that's where I came in, that's where Mike came in, that's where Kens came in, that's where all of the teammates he had came in. Right now, I look at him and he deserved where he is, and he was the most part of it. All we were guidance. We just guide them. You can guide people to the water, but you can't make them drink. You can give a lot of people information about things that is right, but until they decide that it's right for them, you never know. But he always knew that it was right because it was love from the beginning.
All right, good luck following that up.
Oh man, I'm still thinking about him broadcasting. Thankfully, the mute button works on my remote. But I think going back to the beginning of his career, I think that Elvis did come into a really good spot with Wash as his manager. Wash has a really high bar for work. He makes you work, but as a young player, he also understands that it's progression. You're going to develop, you're going to make mistakes, and he stays with you and talks about it. And then he's playing second with Kens. It was one of the best in the league, and he could bounce ideas off of Kens all the time. But ultimately, I think a lot of times people see Elvis as this young kid who had all these mentors, but he did it. No one else did it for him. He didn't do it because we were there. He did it because he was good. He was a great defender. He was a great base runner. He had great instincts. He played hard. He was super durable. Never came out of the lineup. Kens and I were talking about it the other day, like trying to talk about his career when we first knew he was going to retire. You don't become a big part of World Series teams because of your mentors. You do it because we knew he was ready. He was up there, all of his at bats, man. He was still developing offensively. He ended up becoming better hitter than we first saw him when he was young. But he would fight tooth and nail during his at bats, fouling pitches off, and then he's got Josh, Adrian, and me coming up, and we're just smiling because he's wearing people down. Kens is on the base pass, pissing off the other team left and right. It was like we were like, this is perfect. The table's set. We just come in and just follow these guys. So for as much as everyone gives us credit for the things that we did for him. He did a ton for us too. Even for me personally, you know, seeing Elvis, there were times when, like Elvis said, I had to tug his ear. That's a good way to put that. But I would do it, and then he would leave, and I just laugh. Right? I'm like, this is so good for me to have someone so young and so energetic. It was refreshing for me. It gave me a bit of a jolt to my career at that stage. So I'm thankful for him.
All right, so for you, we all think of you as young, right? We'll always think of you as young, mostly because you're younger than all of us in here still. But 15 years in the big leagues, 2,000 hits. What do you think about what your career ended up being? All jokes aside, seriously.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a good question, but like, you know, fortunately, I'm always gonna give you the same answer. Like, I never saw myself, you know, in terms of numbers. You know, a lot of people ask me, like, you know, what are you most proud of? You know, and I'm like, you know, that I give everything I had every single day, every single year, and that I had the most fun. Like, for me, the game is fun. That's what I played this game, because it was a way for me to, first of all, get out of Venezuela and having an opportunity for me and my family, but secondly, to, like, you know, how blessed I am and we are, you know, to, your job is playing baseball, you know? So I always remind myself that, of course, I have to work hard and be serious, but never take, you know, that joy and that little kid part away from me. And you know, fortunately, I don't really talk about, you know, 2,000 hits. Like, that really don't matter for me, because for me it was all about doing everything. If I needed sacrifice and whatever I needed to do to set the table for Michael, Adrian, Josh, I mean, Nelson, so many guys that hit behind me. And that was my job. And that was something that Wash taught me, you know, very young, and I love it, you know, because that's true, you know, like, not everybody's gonna hit 40 homers every year. Not everybody's gonna hit 200 hits every year, but whatever is my job, let me be the best. And I understood what Wash wanted from me and for the teams that I played for, and I really work hard to be the best what manager and the team need from me. And that's what I take, you know, that's what I'm taking home. And that's what I'm happy. You know, it's not a sad day for me, it's a joy, because I did what I was asked, you know, to do. And I give my best effort every single day, and we accomplished some great things here for the Rangers, and you know, that's what I take. You know, I don't take anything bad. I always take the great things of this game gave me, and it was a lot more than I expected, for sure.
Thank Eric.